outstanding contribution from Simon Daubney to Alinghi. Meanwhile, this is Team New Zealand, and they're still right in the battle, and they're still working hard. But just picking up what Cameron was saying about how bumpy it is out here, we can really say that, can't we? We're getting rocked around here today. This is easily the roughest we've had out of Port America's Cup Valencia.
Yeah, you really need your seatbelt today, and you see Team New Zealand coming back onto starboard tack. The important part here is that they keep the game close. You know, they don't have to do any big flyers, take too much risk. Into damage control mode. It's a long race, and let's attack in the downwind run.
So that's Ed Baird there on the helm. Big day for him.
That felt good.
Yeah, I'm sure Ed's feeling a lot better than he did before the start with the nerves. Probably settled, got into a bit of rhythm. Boat's going well, and I'm sure he's feeling a lot more relaxed right now.
That's Brad Butterworth, who was the encouraging words then with that felt good.
Great shot of the mainsail there on Alinghi. Very nice looking sail. Both boats have quite similar sails, and I think the mainsail sizes are quite similar as well.
So there's an outstanding crew aboard Alinghi, and they're really getting to the work now.
So the grinders working away here in these tacks. Alinghi trying to push Team New Zealand out to the right-hand side of the course. See the gains up to around 60 metres now, so slowly but surely it looks like Alinghi's gaining in these tacks. Team New Zealand was always a boat that was probably one of the strongest in the Challenger Series, tacking-wise, both crew work and technique. And certainly Alinghi is no weaker there. They seem to be doing just fine in the tacks.
So at the moment we're on North Star, we're getting 12 knots. Now, okay, that measures fundamentally a story off the water as compared to the boys right down at sea level.
Next bit of flat water. Yeah, you pick your spot.
There's a bit of flat water. Pick your spot. Well, I don't know whether there's any flat water out here today, James. There's a lot of white caps. It's a bumpy test. Actually, the seaway is bigger than really the wind strength at the moment.
I think so, and it's really due to these huge spectator boats that are out here, especially some of the bigger ones. And see Alinghi here just still edging away in this tacking duel. Team New Zealand trying to hang in there, keep the damage down to a minimum. And from what I've heard around the base is that the Kiwis feel like they have a small advantage downwind, and we'll certainly see them try and attack in the next leg.
That's the case. If they do think they've got the advantage downwind, as you say, they've got to keep the game close, so they're going to be close enough to be able to attack downwind. Conversely, I've heard rumours and stories that in the secret trialling of Alinghi, someone who was close out there reckoned that 100 took a minute out of 91 one day downhill. Certainly the conditions were different because it was flat water and around 12 knots, so that may not be relative today. Anyway, we'll see. It is what it is today. It's a bumpy seaway. It's down to around 10 knots at the moment.
See the grinders there working away. Chris Ward, Matthew Mason. And I think we had a good look on the virtual eye just before, and it looks like it could be maybe 2 or 3 more bumps out or tacks out to the right-hand side before the boats get to ley line. Here it looks like a good little game back to Team New Zealand. Closed it up to around the 50-metre mark, so that's encouraging for the guys, and certainly all the grinders that are really digging it in, and on the physical level, they'll feel good about that game.
So we can see where they're heading to in the distance. The orange mark, or orange buoy, or buoy if you insist. That's where they're going to. And that is going to be the end of leg number 1 of 4. So they're currently beating or tacking to windward.
That's good. Yeah, let's just keep pushing him down. We'll decide.
Yeah, nice job there by Team New Zealand. You saw that.
So Brad Butterworth says, let's keep pushing him down.
Yeah, pushing him down. We saw leading up to there, the Team New Zealand, each time Alinghi would come across, tack in front of them, and the Kiwis would tack away on the port tack. This time they didn't. They held. They knew they were getting out to the right-hand side, knew there wasn't enough time and runway, and they chose to try and shoot through to the leeward side, as you can see them there.
The leeward is out to the right, folks.
Yep, exactly. And now we've seen them able to close this up to around 40 metres. You know, earlier we're up to around the 60, 70 metres. So I think that's been a great job by all the, you know, the crew on board the Kiwi boat, the grinders. And nice job by Dean there to take a little gain back to leeward.
Now they'll be coming out to the port ley line. So once Alinghi tacks, Team New Zealand will have to follow the leader out to the top mark.
Exactly. Both boats coming out to the port ley line, tack, and then set up. We can already see Pete Van Nieuwenhausen on the bow, setting up the halyard, and no doubt Jero Lomas and the guys on the Team New Zealand boat will be doing the same. And I think this is encouraging. You know, they've been able to close this distance up, and this will be the next test to see how the boats go downwind.
Team New Zealand out to the right. They are getting very close, and you can see the drenching that Pete Van Nieuwenhausen is getting. That really is a quick potted summary of how bumpy it is out here today.
Yeah, we're there, let's go.
That was from the leftover seaway from the wind direction last night, plus the huge spectator wash that's been created. Here comes the final track. They're on the runway to the top mark first time. Mark 1, race 1, America's Cup 2007. Alinghi out to the left. Team New Zealand now also leading up to the top mark. Mark 1, race 1, 32nd America's Cup. Alinghi, the defender, leads round the mark. The early advantage to Team New Zealand coming away from the start, but Alinghi have got the lead. Team New Zealand coming with the hoist. 13 seconds, that's close enough to attack. Here comes the hoist from Team New Zealand. Excellent hoist from Alinghi. Another good hoist from Team New Zealand. Now, can the red Spinnaker, the big red Jenica, disrupt the airflow coming down under the white one? That's the trick, James. That's what they're going to try and do. Team New Zealand out to the right.
Yeah, here we go again for the next speed test downwind. First time the two boats have lined up downwind. See Brad there looking back, giving the info to Ed. And both boats there, immaculate sets. You can see the crews stuffing the headsail down the hatch. And they'll take that down below. The bowman will fold that up and get it ready for the next leg. But this is going to be interesting, and we'll see which boat has a speed advantage.
Well, we do know that the chat around the waterfront is that Team New Zealand do feel confident with their off-wind speed, and that really is a byproduct of what happened during the Louis Vuitton series of the round robin and the semi-final and final. But we've also heard these whispering comments that the boat with the white Spinnaker UBS, Alinghi, this new boat is really quick downhill. Well,
we're starting slightly high.
We'll see. As now they head into leg number 2. This is the first off-wind leg of the 32nd America's Cup, as Adam Bichel is being hoisted high aloft to try and give an indication of what tactics the Team New Zealand should employ. But currently at the moment, the defender is in front in this first race.
Leg number 2, the first downwind leg. And at the first mark, it was Alinghi by 13 seconds. Now, we know that there's about 70 metres is the lead at the moment through Virtual Eye. Alinghi are leading by 70 metres, so that means, Cameron, really that Emirates Team New Zealand is in a position where they could do some attacking.
Yeah, they certainly are. They're in a nice position right here where they've just jibed. But Alinghi will just have their air clear, but any small gain that Team New Zealand can make could really put the pressure on Alinghi down this run.
I just recap through Virtual Eye the latter stages of leg number 1. We saw there were about a dozen tacks, I suppose, and each time Switzerland had tacked in front of Emirates Team New Zealand. This time, however, Emirates Team New Zealand got to the left. That advantage is only a bit of a boat length and a bit, isn't it?
Yeah, this really helped Team New Zealand to minimise the loss up the top here. Alinghi just probably went across their line maybe one length too far, and Team New Zealand were just able to put their bow down and reach for a little bit underneath Alinghi. and not having to get bounced and do 2 extra tacks out to the right-hand side, which allowed them to round, only 13 seconds, where I think if they had to do those 2 extra tacks, they would have been closer to 20 to somewhere between 20 and 25 seconds.
So that distance was up to close to 100 metres. We see here as we fast forward through to the live situation that it has varied down to 65 or so metres. Alinghi still leading. They led at that first mark by 13 seconds.
And we can really see how hard it is here for the crew. With these waves, they're really having to work hard to keep trimming the sails perfectly the whole way down here, pumping on the waves, trying to get any little boost they can. And we can see how the spinnakers look very unstable. They're